Hello everyone, Shinto Bean here playing some more Warhammer Combat Cards. Ranked mode. I haven't uploaded a lot of ranked matches lately, but at the moment, I've actually been playing a fair bit of Tau, and I wanted to show you the kind of some of the decks that I'm using, other than Shazo Rely, which is still my favorite warlord, but there are other options, and I do have some bodyguards that have reached a pretty high level, so for this deck we're running Commander Shadow Sun and just two of the massive battlesuits. We got the Riptide battlesuit at level 10, and the Ravarna Battlesuit at level 9. This one is one of the few legendaries I have that actually has a max level trait, Big Game Hunter. And then we've got the support units. We've got the Shield Drone, Stealth Drone with Taunt, and the Pathfinder with Medicae for some healing. So yeah, just a pretty simple, straightforward brute force deck. You drop the two big battlesuits and one of the support units, and then once all the support units are dead, you drop Shadow Sun for a spectacular finale. Okay, so we are up against Illic Nightspear. Interesting, don't see him too often in ranked. And they do have the initiative. They're dropping a Fire Prism, which can deal 100 damage on this first turn, so let's go with the Ravarna Battlesuit. I think that will be a good counter to that. We do have to be a little bit careful. Okay, well, they countered my Ravarna Battlesuit with the birds. The Razorwing Flock with Taunt, it's going to redirect the damage from these precision shots, so... Oh, man, they've got Fear, too. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Well, I guess we'll move that guy away from the Fear, and we'll just drop this Pathfinder. So we will be able to knock out the Razorwings before the turn starts, so no ranged debuff from them. But what are they going to do? They are going to go melee. And yeah, it's not going to do very much damage, but the Ravarna Battlesuit also does barely any melee damage, even with the Big Game Hunter. This thing, it does combo, I think, decently well with Aunva, who can potentially increase the amount of melee attack on the guy. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and start blasting away with the ranged attacks. 182 to the Fire Prism, and I think the barrage damage should knock out the Pathfinder. Hopefully, do want the thing to die. Okay, it gets blasted by the special rule. I forgot about that. Bringer of True Death. It's always fun to see that thing go off. And yeah, we'll be able to drop one of these drones down. I think we'll just go, yeah, we'll go like this. So we'll knock out the Fire Prism and the Void Weaver. It's going to be a bit of an overkill here. Well, actually, what am I thinking? It's their turn. Okay, that's a lot of damage, actually. It's quite a bit of damage. Bringing it down to 1, it gets zapped away. Fortunately for us, though, these battlesuits are nearly impossible to kill in one turn. So we don't really have to worry about them getting zapped by Illic's special rule. Which means, yeah, I mean, they will be taking some damage throughout the match, but then we can just heal them back to full once Shadow Sun herself deploys. So, drop a Shield Drone, which will actually increase our next ranged attack on on our next turn, but we are getting outflanked. So we'll be dealing less damage this turn. And you know what? I actually have to be kind of careful here because I just realized Illic has Deadshot, which could very well kill Shadow Sun. I don't know. I mean, the AI isn't smart enough to take the special rule into account, but even so, I think, yeah, if we go for the ranged attack here, yeah, it's very risky. And actually, just as I say that, I think we would have been fine because we wouldn't have actually destroyed anything on this turn, which means the Warlord wouldn't deploy yet. So, never mind. I guess I don't know what I'm actually doing here. But hopefully we can deal enough damage. I think, actually, that may have been the right choice, because now we can just wipe the entire board with Shadow Sun deploying here. We got the Inspiring Presence, we got a Precision Shot, and then everything is going to be not only get healed back up to full health, but we're also going to be getting 20 more ranged damage to everything. So, ending on a strong note here, we do have a 50% ranged buff, so that's a total of 548 damage even after the Fear in the middle lane, so just insane amounts of damage. I'm still kind of disappointed that Shadow Sun does not have a special animation for her special rule. It's like, come on guys, it's been, what, 3 years now? Deadshot on Shadow Sun, but yeah, there's no way Illic is going to be able to take her down at this level, so... Pretty big melee counterattack from the Riptide, but we can end the game strong with another 405 ranged damage. With Shadow Sun, you don't actually have to deploy the Warlord last to trigger the special rule. It's just when the last card deploys. But in this case, it only really makes sense to deploy Shadow Sun last. I think if you have more, like, slightly weaker bodyguards, you could potentially deploy the Warlord like second to last and then heal her up when the final bodyguard deploys, but that's a little bit tricky, and this is a more straightforward way to play. I also want to show you this Dark Strider deck. So Dark Strider, whenever a card changes lane, it gets to attack with a ranged attack for 50% of its damage, which means you want to combo some powerful ranged units with these taunt cards, which will absorb the damage, they'll die quickly, and then you can shift everything over to get those extra attacks in. So once again, we're running the Stealth Drone, the Shield Drone, and the one other taunt guy, which is this Ethereal Guard. And then we got Long Strike, which I just upgraded to level 6. He's now punching for a pretty massive 122 ranged, plus the additional boost from Inspiring Presence, so even more than that, actually. And then we got the Sunshark Bomber, and the Skyray Gunship, which is also quite strong. So let's go ahead and deploy. We'll see how Dark Strider does. So the bodyguards you'll be playing will be actually pretty similar to what I just did with Shadow Sun. So you get 2 of your strong units on the field, and then 1 taunt unit. The one thing you do have to be careful with Dark Strider, though, is that you want the... let's see, I don't know if it's going to actually show up here, but we'll go with, I think, this one. So you want the taunt card, the weak bodyguard that is going to be dying, to be in the either leftmost or rightmost lane. You don't want it to be in the center lane, because then only 1 card will be able to shift over. So that means that it's not always ideal placement. Just if you're trying to counter the enemy bodyguards, like the positioning can be kind of weird. But in this case, it works out pretty well. So we have the initiative. We're taking this first turn. We're going to knock out one of those gun drones and take down the Cold Star Battlesuit. We're playing against Tau. Shazo rely on their side, and they're going to be dealing a lot of damage here. Taunt and target acquired on that shield drone. So actually, they're going to be dealing a lot of damage to Long Strike here, I think. Lots of drones on the enemy side, and they're getting boosted up by the special rules, so that's going to deal, yeah, a lot of damage here. So it would have been better if the shield drone could have actually died on the previous turn, so that I can bring out another taunt unit to better protect my units, but I think this will be fine. So we'll go with maybe a ranged debuff. That should work well against Shazo Rely. Got the extra attacks here because they shifted lanes, knocking down the targeting drone, the recon drone, on their turn, so they won't be able to redeploy something in that lane. So we just get some free damage in. The shield drone will be debuffing their range. So quite a bit of damage here, but not enough to take down the Sunshark Bomber, which means the enemy Warlord will deploy alongside their final bodyguard. Once again, this drone is taking a lot of damage, so that means on their next turn they're going to take that out with 1 hit and then just deal a whole bunch of damage to my other guys. So kind of tricky here. It didn't really work as well. I didn't protect my key bodyguards as well as I would have liked, but I think they will survive simply because we do have quite a bit of firepower. And yeah, okay, there we go. So actually works out pretty decently, I think. I think that debuffing their range to discourage them from going with the ranged attack that turn. Even though they could have done a fair bit of damage without taking too much in return thanks to those shields. There goes that drone. Whoa, coming very close to dying here. This, though, is where I think, well, yeah, we'll just drop this guy. See if we can protect our bodyguards a little bit longer. They do get the extra attacks. Barrage is in particular quite good with Dark Strider because, as you can see, it just knocked out 2 shields with the extra attack and dealt some extra damage to boot. Taking decent amount of damage here. Looks like Long Strike is going to survive. Wow, he actually made it barely to the end of the game, and now we can just end by we can deploy our Warlord or the Skyray gunship. Either way, we can just shift Long Strike over. He will target the Warlord with the extra attack. It's going to be reduced damage, but still enough to finish off the enemy Warlord. And we still have the Skyray gunship in the hand as well. So yeah, this is pretty powerful. Gotta say, Dark Strider quite strong. I just don't play him so much because it is sort of a bit of a slower playstyle, and I think Shazo Rely just gets the job done more quickly. But yeah, let me know if you play Tau in Ranked and which of the Warlords is your favorite, and also which bodyguards you use. Do you prefer the aircraft or the battlesuits? But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.